Yes, you are welcome once again to New Focus Approach to Mathematics Basic 7. This is the revised edition, and in this video, we are looking at finding a fraction of a given quantity. Finding a fraction of a given quantity. And now, this aspect of the work is like what we did earlier with finding a fraction of a percentage, okay? And so here we are only looking at finding a fraction of a given quantity. For example, I have a question like this. Solve the following. We want to find 3/4 of 60. The assumption is that maybe, let's say we have a class of 60 students. And the class of 60 students, we say 3/4 of the class probably study mathematics or they like mathematics. So how do we find that 3/4 of the class who like mathematics out of the total number of 60? So very simple way, we just do cancellation and solve this question. So we can say that, okay, here, let's take it one after the other. Maybe 2 can divide here as 2, 2 can divide here as 30. Again, 2 can divide here as 1, 2 can divide here as 15. So 15 times 3 is 45. So what it means is that if we say 3/4 of 60 is 45. So if 60 students are in a class and 3/4 of them are or like mathematics, then we can say 45 of these students like mathematics. Right. Good. Again, let's also say that we have a number like 45 again. We want to multiply it by 4/5. So in the more scenario, the natural scenario, we can say that, okay, a class of 45 students, 4/5 of these students were wearing uniform today. Then the remaining did not wear uniform. And so how many people were wearing uniform if 4/5 are wearing uniform? So again, we divide 5 by itself as 1. 5 can divide 45 as 9, right? And so we multiply 4 times the 9, and that will give us 36. And so if we are asking the number of students who are wearing uniform in a class of 45, then 36 of them are wearing. That means the remaining are not. Okay, now let's do it in a more practical way. There are 48 pupils in the class or in a basic 5 class of Adan Community Basic School. On a given day, only 5/8 of the pupils were in school. Only 5/8 of the people were in school. Find the number of people that were absent on that day. Right. And so we have 2 options in doing this. How many people are in the class? 48. So we can find the 5/8 of the 48 and subtract the answer from 1. Or we can make an assumption that if 5/8 are in the class, people who were who were present in the class, then we can do 1 minus 5 on 8, and we can know the fraction that were absent. Then we find the fraction that were absent of the total number. So any of these can help you solve the question. So let me do this. Let's do 5 on 8 times 48 people in the class. Straight away, we know we can divide 8 by itself as 1, and 8 can divide this as 6, because 8 times 6 is 48. Now, if I multiply 5 times 6, that will give me 30, right? So here we can say 30 people were present in the class. So if you want to find the number of people who were absent, I will just subtract this from 48, and so then my answer becomes 18. Okay, so this is one way we can do this. Alternatively, we could have also taken the 5/8 from 1, and then we take the number of the 48. Right. Let's look at the last question. If it was sent to the supermarket with 270.60, that is 270 Ghana cedis, 60 pesos. She bought items and realized she had spent 2/3 of the amount. How much money was left? Okay, so she has spent 2/3 of the amount, 2/3. Okay, so let's do the simple cancellation here. We know 3 can divide itself as 1, and 3 can divide 27 as 9. Okay, and so here we have the remaining 0.60 because we only took the 3 to divide the 27. All right, so if you multiply 90.6, okay, we are doing 90.6 or 90.60 times 2, and the answer will give us 181.2. Right, so this happened to be the amount of money she spent on the item she purchased at the supermarket. How much is left? So we are just doing 270.60 minus 81.20. So when you do this simple subtraction, we'll be able to get our value or our answer, right? Good. So when that is done, we will have 89.4. That means 89 cedis, 40 pesos. That was the amount of money left after she spent 2/3 of the money at the supermarket. I'm sure this helps in helping you to understand the concept of how we can multiply or we can take a fraction of a given quantity. Thanks so much for watching.